that mountain. I climbed that mountain, man. And I can tell you, I was not feeling that feeling, far from it. And in fact, I felt a way worse feeling because at least when I was striving towards that peak, I had this idea, this fantasy, this unconscious fantasy that my life was going to be better once I got there. And ain't that the truth, to only realize you actualized your dream and it wasn't what it was. It wasn't what it was made out to be. It wasn't about how it was programmed in me. Oh, I'll be this guy with all these women around and have all this access and all this stuff. And it was empty. It fulfilled a part of me, the unconscious need for approval, unconscious need for validation. That filled that. I got that. But guess what? When you need to be filled unconsciously for validation, there's never enough. When's enough? For a drug addict, when is it enough? When it's never enough. There's no amount. I don't know if you're an addict or have addiction personalities like I do. It's never enough. There's never enough. There's never enough. No. I want more. Give me more. There's never enough. There's never enough. You never arrive. You never actually feel content. You never actually feel whole. You never actually receive. You never actually let it land. It's never enough. I got to that point. I was really upset. I was actually angry and I decided to leave. And so what I came to realize from that time period and what I want you to understand is this. We really want to be mindful of the spiritual side of ourselves because I got really good at skill sets. I got really good at opening. I got really good at merging sets. I got really good at cold approach. I got really good at day game. I got really good at attracting women. I got good at keeping attraction levels high. I got good at pumping my state. I got good at pumping their state. I got good at language patterns. I got good at vocal variety and tone and when to say things. I got good at body language. I got good at charisma. I got good at energy transference. I got good at eye contact. I got good at all this things. Yeah, I got good. I did it all sober. And I did during the day primarily. And then I did nightclub stuff as well. Lifestyle design. Teach this stuff. And I want you to understand this stuff. These are core fundamentals to understand. You got to understand. But you also got to understand there's a deeper level here. And this is the fundamental thing that a lot of guys aren't talking about on the interweb is that they're not talking about the discontentment of that lifestyle. And by the way, maybe that is, but I'm talking to you about the spiritual practice here now. And what was happening is I was so aware. By the way, every morning I meditated. I woke up in order to stay sane. By the way, sober person in Vegas, to stay sane, I woke up. And as soon as I woke up, I put the timer on my phone, 45 minutes. So the first thing I did, I woke up, I sat up in my bed. Ideally, you don't do this, but I was just in desperate mode with your meditation practice. But I just sat up in my bed and meditated. Plus, I was in float tanks, floating as well. Now, if you don't know what floating is, I encourage you to research it, but it's basically a meditation pod. And I was reflecting on everything. So, I grew quite quickly. I understood things and I was aware of a lot. So even though I didn't go to some of the heights that some of these guys have gone to in the on the internet, and I'm talking about like I still got a lot of results. And here's what I can say with this. I got enough results to know that I'm not happy here. Because if you're meditating and you're aware and you're sober in these environments doing these actions, you feel right away. By the way, for those guys that are watching or listening to this, and you have the courage to be sober, because it takes courage, I want to recognize you. And if you have that desire to be sober, maybe you don't have to be completely sober. If you're someone with my personality type, I got to completely stop. It takes courage to feel. Because basically what you're saying is I'm putting my hand up and I'm ready to feel. I'm ready to feel life. And you want to learn about yourself? I encourage you, go sober for a month. Go sober for 2 months. Go sober for 6 months. I remember I was talking to a guy once and he's like, yeah, I got sober. I'm like, oh, okay, you got sober. Okay, awesome. So you still no, I didn't need to go for that long. I'm like, okay, so what happened? He says, oh, I got sober for 6 months and then stopped. I'm like, oh, interesting. Why did you stop? I just didn't need to be sober anymore. I didn't explore deeper, but really from my interpretation with what I know inside my own self is that's where the things started to come up that needed to be faced, that aren't faced, which are the things that's stopping you from feeling content. Ironically, the things that you're doing right now, if you are partaking in these actions, which is I do not judge because I was there and been there and had my own struggles and still working through some of the things, which is releasing my abilities. But the overarching hum of my vibration is happy and grateful that I'm here now. And if it doesn't get better, this is great as it is. but it just keeps getting better. I want that for you, that hum, that vibration, that arriving, letting it land, letting this in your system, all your development that you've done, allowing yourself to just not feel exhausted and overwhelmed by reality because there's so much happening, you know? And ironically, if you shift at a higher level and you play the game differently, the game changes for you. So do you want to play chess or checkers? Chess or checkers. They both are great games, incredible games to play, and both have times at different purposes. But I would encourage you to play chess with me. Come to a higher level. And I'm not saying any levels lower or higher than each other. They're just different. But at this level, you're going to get what you want a lot quicker. You don't have to go through a lot of the garbage and the programming and the things that have been distracting you from what really matters. And what I mean by that is you're peeling back all the layers of all the programming, the approval from your friend group, needing to be this certain person in order to get a certain result. I'm talking at the spiritual level, not at the material level. Peeling back all these layers and who and what do you really want? Free from programming, free from childhood traumas, free from addictions, free from distractions. What do you really want in that space? I'm talking the space where you're alone. No one else is around. That space that you enter if you go to nature. You spend some time isolated in nature and there's no one else around. Who and what do you want from that place? Because that's really where your core heart desire lies. And then from that place, once you have this pure place, because it's kind of like you have to wash off the dirt of yourself and get to that pure place within. What do you want from there? Because now you have the personal development. And now you have the personal development. Now you learn the techniques. Now you learn the strategies. Now you learn how to have the eye contact. Now you learn the body language, the vocal variety. You start to interact. Oh, baby, you're going to get way better results. Plus, who are you going to attract from that pure place? Right? You're going to start feeling whole and you're going to attract from a whole place rather than from an empty place that needs development. But like I said, there's different rules to different games, different laws at different levels. The game changes. What you do at the beginning is not going to get you to where you want to go at the end. So if you look at wealthy people, a lot of them started off trading their time for money. That's how they started. They traded their time for money. And that's how a majority of people make their money on this planet is they trade their time for money. And you betcha they work hard. I'm one of them. I was a laborer digging ditches. I was digging ditches. I can remember I'm right now in Canada and it's cold while I'm recording this. I haven't been in the cold. By the way, I haven't been in this cold in like 10 years or 8 years or something like this. It's like, I don't know. And some people watching this, it's even colder where they are. I haven't been in this kind of cold in a while. It's actually kind of nice to be back in it, feel a bit of that. But I can remember I used to dig ditches in this weather. I used to be out in the cold, bundled up, my hands frozen, worked on the rigs and all these types of things. That's hard work. Busting your back, hurting your body. Oh man, working hard. And guess what? For peanuts. For peanuts. I think back to how hard I worked making peanuts. But now it's a lot different. So the game changes depending on the levels you're playing at.